Okay. Can you talk a little bit about number one, who reached out to Death Row on behalf of Tupac when he was in jail, to try to get Tupac and Suge in contact when Tupac was behind bars, but also can you talk about the first night that Tupac was out, how you were around him and how that day went?
All right. So there's a lot of things out there that y'all done heard. Y'all done heard me tell the story probably about 5 times. Never told it on camera at Bomb First. So those of y'all that don't want to hear the story again, it's time for y'all to check off. And so we don't get credit for the view. Um, but this is what happened. Keisha, who was Tupac's, for those of y'all don't know, wife at the time. He got married while or before he went to prison. I don't know if it happened before or while he was in prison. They got annulled or divorced. I never met her. She came in town once that I know of. My security talked about it, but other than that, she wasn't one that was around or anything when Tupac came home on October the 22nd, 1995. I think that was the date, or the 23rd. But anyway, she wasn't around or was with him anymore. But she called Suge. Well, she kept calling the office, and so Suge got word, and he was like, "Reg, next time she call, I want to talk to her. I think that could be her. That could be somebody, reaching out for Pac." And so she called, not Interscope, not Jimmy, as y'all groupie friend want y'all to believe, called and told Suge, "Hey, we need you to be a manager of Pac so we can get him out of prison and still can make some money, but we're going to have you be the front person." Okay. All right. But no, Keisha called Pac. Called Suge on Pac's behalf. And Pac wasn't thinking or talking about getting bailed out at that time. He already had a list, as the groupie showed y'all. All these celebrity lists that he had wrote down. Y'all done heard a few people talk about, yeah, we was trying to raise money for Pac to get out. $1.4 million. Y'all don't think Madonna had $1.4 million, she really wanted him out there or helped him get out? Okay, I'm not going to put nobody on blast. But y'all heard all the names that was on the list. Y'all heard Gene even said that either Jada or Jasmine called Puffy trying to get some money or something like that. I heard somebody speak on that. But nobody did. Interscope position was he's unrecouped, even though he had the #1 album in the country. We don't pay so much money on legal bills and this, and we're not spending any more money. This is what they saying publicly. This is what everybody knows. Y'all heard his attorney said when Pac came home, he had no money and had a bunch of lawsuits pending. There's an interview out there with his attorney at the time that was put up. And so she just asked for some money on Pac books, believe it or not. Suge shot him $15,000 and had it put on his book somehow. Shot her $15,000. I forget how it went, to be honest, but I know it was $15,000 because I was the one that told Roy, his assistant at the time, that Suge wanted to get her information after Suge and her talk, because they did talk about the $15,000. She reached back, called again, and said, "Pac wanna talk to you, see if you can get in there to see him. Come see him." Suge was on house arrest at the time. He had an ankle bracelet on for his issues. But he asked David Kenner, "Hey, you think you'd be able to get me in there to see Pac and go see Pac?" David Kenner made it happen, as he always used to do. Made it happen and got Suge in there to go see Pac. Myself, I don't know which time Danny Boy went, but I remember Buntry on the first time, but I remember we flew into Canada, got in the limo early one morning, and I remember the limo driver telling me that he came from Canada, which was shocking to me. But I guess that penitentiary is close to the Canada border, the border where he was at. And so we didn't fly into Canada, but that's where the limousine company came from. We went to the prison, sat in the car. I remember sleeping in the limo while they went inside to meet with Pac. Suge came out. Like, man, Pac having it rough in there. He said that. Having a hard time. That could have been the Suge words. I don't know. He said, but man, we're going to have to try to get Pac out. You know, Pac got something working where he can, you know, get a appeal bond if we can raise this money to get him out. We can put up this money. And so from there, the ball started working. For me to sit up here and say what happened, what the deal was between David Kenner, David Coyne, Jimmy Iovine, and Suge, I can't. But I just know at that time, during that time, from September to October, when all this was going down, Interscope had problems with Time Warner and Atlantic, where they had to get rid of them because of all the heat they were catching. And there's an article out there by Chuck Phillips where on the 28th of September that they had learned that Interscope, that Time Warner had sold their rights back, not their distribution rights, but their rights, their 50% ownership of Interscope back to Interscope. And so Jimmy got his money back, or Ted Fields really, but them as partners, got their money back. And during that time, they still got to deal with Atlantic and Time Warner as a distributor, but not ownership in Interscope. But they were also dissolving that relationship, and they got bailed out, and he got bailed out. But all I ever say to the contract owners, repeat it again, is yes, all of that paperwork was done. All of that stuff was done. But y'all hear 2Pac words. John, I know you hate playing this video. We'll play it again for him.
Into 2Pac, a young captain. I want to join the family, dog. Get me out. I want to join the family. Got me out. Boom. I'm out. I'm in the family. We make out. We went through some sacred shit, me and this nigga. Me and this nigga shit. We was, every day I did my album, he was there every day. Every night we stayed up. We tossed it up together. We went out. We went to Mexico together. Went to Hawaii together. We went everywhere. You know what I mean? And thought about it. It veto all that. As soon as they charge you, even if you ain't do it, it veto your career. I started from scratch with Death Row, a new company. I was independent when I was 2Pac. Me Against the World, I just bought my old managers out. I had it all now. I re-signed to be a part of this for my own, for this to make my own shit bigger. And now I got Machiavelli Records, and Machiavelli is the first artist on that.
Y'all heard what Pac said. That's who he gives credit for coming up to the prison, bailing him out, and now he's a part of Death Row family. The paperwork that Interscope, Time Warner, and all of that got dissolved before February of 13th of 1996. Why? Why, Reggie? Why did it get dissolved? How you know it got dissolved? Well, who distribute All Eyes on Me? Y'all ever hear of a guy named Bob Marley? Bob Marley got this white boy rich. All right, Chris Blackwell from Island Records. That's who, y'all look him up. Him and Bob Marley did great business together. That's who distribute that album, All Eyes on Me, because Interscope didn't have a deal at the time. And so we took it to, well, Interscope, not we, not us. Interscope, Jimmy Iovine took and had Chris Blackwell, Island Records, who was in partnership at the time with who? Def Jam. Y'all never heard of the term Def Jam Island? All right. I'm gonna teach y'all some things. Y'all really listen. I ain't got paperwork throwing in your face and stuff. I can just tell y'all facts that was going on. And so that's who distributed the album, All Eyes on Me, for Jimmy and Interscope, because of the issues that was going on with Time Warner and Atlantic at the time between who? Dolores C. Tucker, Bob Dole, and the president, Dan Quayle. They were causing heat. They were coming at board members of Time Warner. Time Warner was trying to do what at the time? Buy a cable company that we all know now. That's Time Warner Cable. That's what they were trying to get into that business, which eventually blew up. But those people were like, we're not going to, as long as y'all putting out that type of music, we're not going to vote for you to be able to extend your company. Time Warner's like, oh, no, we get out of that gangster rap, black people music, or whatever. You know, that's why they were starting to have problems with Prince. They got back into it a little bit, but they was getting rid of the fuck the police type rappers and stuff like that. Talking about, you know, what the Dolores Tucker accusation was on Pac. You know, calling people bitches and stuff like that. So anyway, did I answer your question, John?
You answered the first part. The second part was the first day that he got out, being around him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he came home. You know, dads and people say, we picked him up, went to Miney's, had a briefcase, had a death row medallion. None of that's true. Me and Kevin Hackey and CLS Limousines picked up 2Pac and Big Sight from LAX and Bo Peep. Was a dude named Bo. It was three of them. Picked them up from LAX. Got in a limousine. Took them straight to Can-Am recording studios. This is about 6:00 p.m. Went in the zone. They not dancing, smoking, drinking, partying in the studio, all of that. They were working on songs, probably listening to beats, doing whatever they do in the studio. I don't go in the studio. That's their sanctuary. Trust me, I'll be outside, kicking it, talking, probably on the phone, trying to line something up. But anyway, I don't be in the studio with them like that. All I know is Pac started feeling kind of bad. Wasn't feeling that good, which is normal. System probably was clean from, being in prison. Got overwhelmed, y'all. Was on the back lot, getting the limousine, getting the limo, pulling up and having him and Kevin Hackey going, telling them where they go at the Peninsula Hotel to check in. It's about 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock. Bow! Pac falls. Hit his head on the cement. Passed out. I thought he was having a seizure. Probably wasn't a seizure. But the way he was swallowing his tongue and all of that, we got him, revived him. I remember then Suge joking afterwards, after we knew he was okay and stuff. Got him to the hotel and stuff. I was like, woo. Man, thought we almost lost him that quick. But shit, Pac was good later on that morning. And next day, that nigga was back in the studio working. Yeah, that's what happened that night. So all those stories y'all hear about, he did 5 songs and Daz. Tell y'all about my boy Daz. He may have listened to 5 or 6 beats and guaranteed them and, said, okay, I want to fuck with that one. I want to fuck with that one. I want to mess with that one. I'm vibing with that one. And Pac had songs written because, when you're in jail, in prison, you're writing. So he was working, but they wasn't laid down that night that quick like the story's been told. But y'all believe who y'all want? Reggie telling y'all. I ain't got no reason to lie.